Hello and welcome back to JVSCP. This is a very special episode that I'm very excited about. A few weeks ago I stopped reading in like the middle of an entry. I mean, you didn't see that because Veeti of course cut it out after just the intro, but I think I did say that we'll get back to whatever it was that I started because I found it very interesting, and that's what we're doing today. So today we're gonna be diving into an entry that I did start reading at one point and I was really into it. So let's see if it holds up to the hype. SCP-1841 by Anonymous and Uncle Nicolini from the SCP Wiki. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-1841 is contained in a standard containment locker located in Site-55. Personnel wishing to interact with the object may file a request with SCP-1841's research lead. Any individual whom activates the object's anomalous properties are required to maintain a log detailing their dreams for 1 week following the event. I know that last time I read this I got stoked right away just because I was like, damn, this one's gonna be about dreams. Love me some good Lynchian, dream-adjacent content. Due to ethical concerns, use of the object with D-Class personnel is currently forbidden. Description: SCP-1841 is a well-worn softcover book titled 1001 Places to Be Before You Die by Rachel McPhee. It contains an indeterminate amount of pages and is 4 centimeters thick. Copyright information listed within 1841 claims it was published by the publisher Periscope Publishing in 1989. Investigation has shown that the name was registered in 1985. However, no books were ever published under the label and it is considered defunct. For the first 95 pages, 1841 lists 95 separate popular tourist locations and describes the main attractions, in addition to recommending methods of transportation which are contemporary to the time period in which 1841 was published. No anomalous properties have been reported originating from these initial entries. Locations described by 1841 after page 95 will initially be locations the subject would not be able to afford or physically able to travel to, such as the tops of mountains or private property, and are unique with each viewing. As the subject continues reading, the difficulty of reaching the locations will increase dramatically, and written descriptions will be more sensationalized and positive. As of the
18th of September 1997,
6 defunct Foundation properties, footnote including 2 neutralized anomalies, SCP-1983 and SCP-1522, 6 defunct Foundation properties and 3 defunct buildings belonging to Foundation fronts have been documented, although no active facilities have been listed. When the subject passes page 1001, additional entries will manifest within 1841. These new pages do not add to 1841's mass and will demanifest after being turned over to view the next page. The descriptions for these locations appear to be directly aimed at the subject and often list specific tasks to be completed by the subject while visiting it. Examples include
Subject
D-1221,
Location
Nala's grave.
Description:
You never got to see where she was buried after you did what you did. It's beautiful in the spring when the poppies bloom.
Task:
Even after what happened, she still loves you. The least you could do is leave a lily at her grave. Now, you might be thinking to yourself that that's awfully cryptic, but the thing here is that Nala's grave is actually clickable and it leads to another entry, that being SCP-3867. And I think this is where I stopped last time because I realized I kind of wanted to go in and read these additional entries as well. So now we're taking a little break from the main one to read this one to figure out what the hell that was all about with Nala's grave. SCP-3867 by... well, so it says here in the history of this file that the first changes and stuff was by a user called Zyn, but as of late it's mostly been edited by Uncle Nicolini, and Uncle Nicolini is also the author of the main article, and usually authors like to link to their own articles, so I don't quite know. It's either of them, maybe both of them, maybe they're the same person, but for clarity's sake, let's just say by Zyn. Object Class Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. Foundation web crawlers are to track and erase any mention of SCP-3867 on the internet. Artificial Intelligence Construct TSAT has been programmed to monitor the dark web for any information relating to 3867 or its creators. Description: SCP-3867 is an anomalous website under the domain www.scpd.heart, named Sweet Cats and Perfect Dogs. When visited, SCP-3867 will load a unique page displaying an image of its visitor's pet and describing the most recent actions taken by the subject of the image. Footnote: following extensive testing involving the surveillance of testing personnel's pets, the described actions were found to be accurate when not describing esoteric actions. When visited by a subject without a cat or a dog, SCP-3867 will instead display an image and the most recent actions taken by an animal available for adoption at the nearest animal shelter. Subjects will then be prompted to adopt the animal in question in order to, quote, experience these cute moments firsthand, end quote. SCP-3867 Testing Log.
Subject.
Researcher Jade.
Result.
Sweet cats and perfect dogs. Franklin just snored a little bit, but didn't wake up. He seems to be dreaming about sleeping. What a lazy, lazy boy. Make sure to pet him as soon as you get home. He misses you and wants to sit next to you as you unwind.
Subject.
Researcher Watts.
Note.
Researcher Watts does not own a pet.
Result.
Sweet cats and perfect dogs. Dexter is pretty sure he just saw something dart across the wall, but he thinks it might just be that weird bright thing he can never seem to catch. He decided that rather than waste his efforts in grabbing the sneaky culprit now, he's gonna let things play out. Sorry, Dexter, but that was just light coming in through the window. If you like Dexter and want to experience such cuteness in person, you can adopt him from the Chattanooga Cat Rescue, where he is currently in a foster home.
Subject.
Researcher Matthias.
Note.
Researcher Matthias does not own a pet, but expressed his parents owned a cat.
Result.
Sweet cats and perfect dogs. Summer sunbathing was just interrupted by a raindrop. Oh, Summer, you best find somewhere to hide before it really starts coming down. I hear underneath the porch it's nice and dry.
Post-examination notes.
It appears SCP-3867 is capable of identifying other animals the subject is personally attached to. Dr. Yerko.
Subject.
Researcher Alphes.
Note.
Researcher Alphes has not owned a pet since age 16.
Result.
Sweet cats and perfect dogs. Pinto is playing in the fields, passing the time until it's your turn to meet her again in front of the Rainbow Bridge. She's happy and running to her heart's content.
Post-examination notes.
Research into a possible connection between SCP-3867 and SCP-3737 is currently ongoing.
And for anyone curious, SCP-3737 is the Rainbow Bridge, which deals with the topic of deceased pets, and I covered it on my main channel quite a while ago. There should be a link up in the corner.
Subject.
D-1221.
Note.
D-1221 was selected for testing due to their history of animal abuse.
Result.
Sweet cats and perfect dogs. Nala wondered why her best friend was putting her in a sack, then wondered why she kept hearing all those funny noises, until she wondered why it was so hard to move all of a sudden. Nala stopped wondering after she stopped breathing.
Post-examination notes.
This is the third time the messages condemned the subject to have committed some form of atrocity towards animals. I'd like to see what would happen when SCP-3867 is tested on someone who has neutralized a large number of them. Dr. Yerko.
Subject.
Dr. Yeatley.
Note.
Dr. Yeatley was selected due to their position as lead SCP-1459 researcher. For anyone curious, I just kinda scrubbed through 1459, and it seems to be a claw machine that hurts a puppy. So we're not reading that. We're getting too far down the rabbit hole as it is.
Result.
Stop calling puppies, Dick. A blender? Really? It looks like a goddamn Jamba Juice. And that's SCP-3867, so now we can go back to our main entry of the day, 1841. And when I now again tell you that the first subject was D1221, and the location was Nala's grave, and the description was, you never got to see where she was buried after you did what you did. It's beautiful in the spring when the poppies bloom, and the task was, even after what happened, she still loves you. The least you could do is leave a lily at her grave. That, unfortunately, probably makes a bit more sense. Now we will continue with the testing logs of this entry, 1841, which, just to get everyone back on track, is the book of 1001 Places to Be Before You Die that starts giving increasingly unrealistic locations and tasks.
Subject.
Researcher Sandberg.
Location.
The place where you first kissed him.
Description.
An amusement park ride. The place where many young couples exchange their first kiss in the veil of darkness. The smell of pine needles is most notable in the summer.
Task.
Take in the atmosphere and remember why you fell in love with him in the first place.
Subject.
Dr. Elliot.
Location.
Greenhouse 4.
Description.
The windows are busted now, but it's still in one piece. Please be careful about the glass when you visit the old hiding spot. There's some loose shards there.
Task.
Count the seeds in a pod. Maybe name them so they don't grow up without anything to be called.
Subject.
Dr. Everwood.
Location.
Mom's place.
Description.
It smells like perfume and roses all the time. Bring a coat. It gets cold this time of year.
Task.
You already know what to do. And yet again, that's clickable, and we're gonna check it out. So when it says you already know what to do, you click that, and that gets you to a short story, I think, and it's called Before the Storm.
Michael, is that you?
Their mother's shaky voice greeted them as they entered the room. They brought with them a bouquet of flowers, a small tote bag, and a feeling of crushing hopelessness. Little porcelain figures of unicorns decorated the dresser, flanked by old pictures of a happy family. The air smelled faintly of urine, chlorine, and the first drops of water before a rainstorm. "No, Mom, it's me." They shut the door behind them and approached the senior woman seated in a rocking chair near the window. "How are you?" Jay leaned down and kissed her forehead. The woman recoiled slightly.
You're not Michael?
She glowered, looking up at her visitor with dismay.
What happened to your arm?
"Mom, Dad's been dead for years." They sighed, straightening out their back again and avoiding the second question.
Michael is dead?
She teared up, her eyes quickly flushing red as small salty tears rained down on her cheeks. It happened years ago. Look, I brought you daisies, your favorite. Jay extended their arm to hand their mother the flowers, but she shook her head. Instead, she wrapped her arms around herself as she continued to cry. I brought you some meds. I'm gonna make sure you take them, okay? They gently tossed the bouquet onto the bed and reached into their tote bag and produced a bottle labeled Nestic. Suddenly, the tears stopped. The woman's hands freed themselves from around herself and reached up to her face.
Oh, was I crying?
Yes.
Sorry, I can't seem to focus much these days.
Don't worry. I have something here that's gonna help you focus.
Oh, okay. Are you a new nurse? I don't recall seeing you here before.
Jay opened the bottle as deftly as they could with only one arm, then flipped the container over and dropped the single pill within onto the bed. They then picked it up and approached their mother. Just take this and soon you'll be able to focus, okay, Mom?
Okay, dear. Why are you calling me Mom?
Because you are my mom.
But I don't even know your name.
Just take this, please. Jay handed the pill to their mother, who took it into her mouth without a second thought. Perhaps it was because she was somewhat used to complying with the nurses, or because deep down she did recognize her child. She swallowed. Jay inhaled deeply and slowly exhaled, taking a seat on the bed beside their mother. There was a silence between the two, only interrupted by the gentle tapping of a branch swaying in the wind outside. Their mother appeared to be unconscious. 1 minute. The soft drizzle of rain dotted the window. 2. A muffled bolt of thunder in the distance cracked the sky. 3. With a gasp, their mother sprang to life again, eyes bugged out and darting across the room before ultimately fixing upon Jay.
Justine!
She gasped. Jay, Mom. Even years later, she had not truly accepted them. The sting of rejection was still painful, even after all this time.
Jay, Justine, whatever. You can't let me go into that state again. I will not allow you to leave me in the dark.
It's Jay. And unless you want to go back into the dark again, you'll call me Jay. Their voice hesitated for a moment.
Such impudence. I didn't raise my daughter to be like this.
She scowled. I can leave, you know. Jay stood.
Fine. I'm sorry.
Thank you. They sat back down, assuming a position akin to folding one's arms, but with only one limb available.
Now listen, you can't pull me out of the darkness like that and expect me to just go back when it's time for you to leave. It's inhumane.
That's actually why I came to talk to you today. I got a hold of something that can end this once and for all.
Oh, Jay, I knew your science degree would come in useful someday. Thank you, you're the best daughter I could ever have asked for. Who would have thought that they would make a cure in my lifetime?
Her eyes welled with tears again. Jay grimaced, then looked away.
Jay?
It's not a cure, Mom. The two were quiet for what felt like a lifetime.
You came here to kill me.
She spoke breathlessly. No, not unless you wanted me to. I mean, I was gonna give you the option to go out on your own terms. And that's better than just sitting around rotting away for another 10, 15 years, is it not?
You did come here to kill me, you bitch!
Mom, listen to me.
You want your inheritance that bad? Well, you're gonna be so happy when I keel over, aren't you? You greedy little shit of a child.
She leaned up from her chair, attempting to get up before nearly falling over. Finding purchase on the dresser, everything upon it shook violently, with one of the pictures of Jay, their mother and father, falling face down. Jay stood to help their mother stand, but found themselves rejected by her. Mom, if you would please just listen to me. Assisted suicide isn't a thing here, and even if it were, no doctor would do it because of your condition. This is the best I could do for you under these circumstances. Do you know how much I risked just sneaking that pill out here? Do you know what would happen if I were caught with what I'm offering you to help you? I could lose my job, no, my life. Their mother clutched the dresser, breathing heavily as she slowly rose. I'm doing this because you're my mom, and even though we've had our differences, I do still love you. Jay broke into tears as they spoke, barely able to suppress what they had been feeling all day. Their mother was silent, now steady on her feet. She leaned back and took a seat on the rocking chair again. She seemed to ponder things for a moment as her child wept beside her. Thunder roared in the distance as lightning struck.
Will it hurt?
No. The two fell silent again. Tiny drops of rain impacted against the window glass. She nodded.
Okay. I don't know how much longer this magic pill lasts, so I want to die as myself.
Are you sure about this, Mom?
As sure as I've ever been about anything in my life. Pass me the daisies.
Okay. Jay leaned back and reached for the flowers, handing them over to their mother.
They smell lovely. Just like when I was a girl.
You loved telling me that story about how Dad always got you daisies because they were cheaper than roses.
He couldn't afford much back in the day, so I didn't hold it against him. I grew to love daisies anyway.
Yeah. A pause.
So what are you going to do? Shoot me?
No. I have something to make it seem like you died of natural causes. Jay rummaged through their tote bag for a moment. They found what they were looking for and hesitated for a brief moment. Are you sure you're sure?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry I didn't come to visit you more.
A bit late to apologize for that now, isn't it?
You're right. Close your eyes. She did. They sniffled, pulling out a shut manila envelope. Opening the prongs, Jay removed the sheet from within and shut their own eyes, holding the object up to their mother's eye level.
I'm sorry, I never really got you.
Their eyes welled up with tears again.
I never meant to push you away. At the end of the day, you will always be my daughter. And I love you.
For a moment they considered correcting her, but there was no use fighting it now. Jay sighed, the tears coming to a stop. I love you too, Mom. Open your eyes. And she did. And with that really sad story, we'll move back to the original entry once again. SCP-1841, the book, 1001 Places, you know what happens. So now it makes a little bit more sense when Dr. Everwood was supposed to go to Mom's place, and where it smells like perfume and roses all the time. Bring a coat, it gets cold this time of year, and then it says, you already know what to do. So the story we just read is what they did. Moving on.
Subject.
Director Alder.
Location.
Outside.
Description.
You can do it. It's been a long time since you got to feel the dirt and mud in between your toes, but there is still an outside. If you've forgotten, now's the last time you'll be able to remember it.
Task.
See all the shapes the clouds can make. Name the ones that they can't.
Subject.
Dr. Clef.
Location.
Kondraki's place.
Description.
It took a long time, but he let it go. They all will, eventually.
Task.
Hear the first steps of a friend's child. It's better than any forgiving word.
Following exposure to SCP-1841, subjects have reported having vivid dreams and nightmares about traveling to the locations described within 1841, and that waking occurred directly before arriving at their destination. Some subjects have reported a strong desire to visit these locations and may attempt to visit the locations and accomplish the tasks listed within 1841. Attached below is a log of reports filed by personnel who attempted to visit the locations listed in 1841.
Subject.
D-1221.
Location.
Nala's grave.
Actions taken.
D-1221 was escorted to Jacksonville, Florida, where he had been arrested for killing his cat in 1990. Immediately upon reaching the wooden cross that denoted Nala's grave, he fell to his knees and began weeping.
Notes.
Upon being questioned as to how he felt after this event, D-1221 expressed he felt as if Nala forgave him. She really forgave him.
Subject.
Researcher Sandberg.
Location.
The place where you first kissed him.
Actions taken.
Sandberg took a week of vacation time and traveled to West Mifflin, Pennsylvania to visit Kennywood's Old Mill dark ride.
Notes.
It used to be a Garfield dark ride. Garfield's nightmare. It was awful. He loved it. I can't believe anyone can sincerely love Garfield. God, he's such a dork.
Researcher Sandberg.
Subject.
Dr. Elliot.
Location.
Greenhouse 4.
Actions taken.
Elliot took 3 days vacation time and traveled to Berkeley, California to visit UC Berkeley's Botanical Garden. Like SCP-1841 described, the Greenhouse 4 had fallen into disuse.
Notes.
I can't believe after all these years, the place I used to hide out and smoke weed at with my friends is still there. I hope they're all doing well. Oh, and one more thing. I named the pods. Chelsea, Danica, Rosa, and Sola. One for each of the girls.
Dr. Elliot.
Subject.
Dr. Everwood.
Location.
Mom's place.
Actions taken.
Everwood visited their mother in the nursing home she currently lived in after work, but claims she was deceased when they got there.
Notes.
I don't want to talk about it.
Dr. Everwood.
Subject.
Director Alder.
Location.
Outside.
Actions taken.
Alder took her first steps outside of Site 55 in 10 years.
Notes.
It's so much warmer than I remember. But it's just as beautiful.
Director Alder.
Subject.
Dr. Clef.
Location.
Kondraki's place.
Actions taken.
N.A.
Notes.
No.
Dr. Clef.
SCP-1841 was recovered from a retirement community in Boston, Massachusetts, after employees reported its anomalous effect to local authorities. Investigation into its origin revealed it had been brought to the home by Stanley Ducasse, a recently deceased elderly resident and book collector. Prior to his death, Ducasse had made 11 requests to visit his former home in Metsovo. Witnesses were treated with Class C amnestics, and SCP-1841 was classified as safe.
Addendum 1841.1. Attached below is a digital reproduction of writing found on the back cover of SCP-1841.
There is a world of beauty and wonder that you can never see. Even if there's so much out there that you cannot see, what's been done was enough. There's never going to be enough time to see everything, but be happy with what you have. So what if you didn't see the world? There were family, friends, and an experience that's unique to you. That's what each of us have, what you took away from this whole uncaring thing. Even with everything you never saw, there's something that this amazing unknown will never see. Your experience. And that was SCP-1841, and goddamn was that good. I know it helps. It's a little bit unfair, maybe, you know, when I read these like additional entries that kind of tie in. I don't do that for all the entries that have that, but for some of them they feel, you know, like more than just like a reference, more than just it's like this other thing, you know, this other entry, and rather it can feel like in this one where it's very well spun into the narrative. Not gonna lie, couple of times kinda had me on the verge of tears, which makes me feel like at some point I should try what I did on my main channel at some point here on JVSCP, that being X number of SCPs that made me cry, because usually they're pretty fucking good. Like if they can make you cry, it's not just that they're sad, they're also usually well written, because otherwise they don't really make you cry, right? But anyway, if we're still doing the gold star thing on this channel, I keep establishing things on this channel and then I forget them, but yeah, if we're still doing gold stars, which I think we are, at some point we'll do videos that are just like our gold star entries of the year or whatever, but this gets a certified gold star from me, and Veeti can throw in their 5 cents if they agree. Damn, what a ride this was. I'm so glad that I saved this and made a whole standalone video about it, because yeah, this was great. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to our patrons, and thank you to our YouTube members. They should be up on screen right now, and I think that you should actually, let me think about it for a second. Yeah, I think it makes sense for you to join them, to become a YouTube member or to become a patron. Either one, honestly, is after pondering on it for a while, the conclusion I have come to is that you should join them, because we're very grateful to them. And wouldn't it be cool if we were very grateful to you as well, and you got to have that nice little feeling in your stomach that you're doing something good. Thank you very much for watching. See you next week. Bye bye.